What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Henry Cejudo issued a lengthy statement following his retirement. Cejudo suffered a decision loss to Payton Talbott at UFC 323 on Saturday, which was his retirement fight. Although Cejudo lost his final fight, he was happy with how he went out. The former UFC flyweight and bantamweight champion went out slugging with Talbott, as it was an entertaining fight. Following the loss, Cejudo took to Instagram to issue a lengthy statement on the loss and reflect on his career. Well, that's not exactly how I envisioned the fight playing out, but it wasn't the worst ending either. The streets are saying I went out in a blaze of glory, and after those last 10 seconds I'd have to agree. I gave it everything I had. Thank you UFC for giving me this life, and the ability to extend my athletic career beyond wrestling. I can confidently say I accomplished everything I set out to when I stepped into the octagon in those gold shorts all those years ago. Thank you to my team, coaches, teammates, management, and most of all my family. You are the reason I was able to go out there and give this game my very best. I never did it for a paycheck. I did it for you, UFC 323. On to the next chapter. Triple C is out. Although Cejudo lost his final fight, he will no doubt find himself in the Hall of Fame in the future. He also praised Dana White in another Instagram post for letting him fight in the promotion. One last shout out to the man that made all of this possible. Thank you, Dana, for building this sport into what it is and positively impacting hundreds of millions of lives across the planet. You turn nothing into something and deserve all of the respect in the world. Glad I could put on one last war for this company. Brandon Moreno addresses questionable stoppage in first remarks since UFC 323 loss. Former UFC flyweight champion Brandon Moreno broke his silence for the first time since his controversial defeat at UFC 323. One of UFC 323's standout performances came courtesy of flyweight contender Tatsuro Taira, who defeated former title holder Brandon Moreno by second-round TKO last Saturday in Las Vegas. Moreno appeared to immediately protest the stoppage, which was questioned by a vocal group of fans and pundits watching UFC 323. Critics of the stoppage pointed to Moreno actively defending Taira's punches, despite clearly taking a slew of punches to the head in the finishing sequence. For the first time since UFC 323, Moreno has addressed the fight and the questionable stoppage. Hey guys, I'm just here to tell you I'm fine and everything is great. I hadn't posted anything because yesterday was my birthday. I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing really well. So yeah, just reflecting a little bit on the fight. Honestly, who knows, right? Personally, I think the referee stopped it too soon, but look, I could have just stayed there and taken extra punishment, or maybe if I did have the chance to get away, I could have made a comeback. You never know. It was a very strange fight, but what remains is I have to keep my head up, and I have to keep moving forward and enjoy the end of the year. Enjoy the holidays, enjoy time with family, and look forward to 2026. Whatever comes strong. Blessings to everyone. Let's go. Jalin Turner credits Ian Garry for successful UFC 323 return. Jalin Turner was motivated after prepping with a top UFC welterweight contender. When I went to go help Ian Garry, it was so good. Being around his family, being around his team, feeling the love that was radiating from everybody. He was driving, having a blast. His son is awesome. It just showed me a light. They really told me I should just put away all the distractions because I'm too talented and too good to hang it up now. Sean O'Malley issues bold preview of upcoming Song Yadong clash at UFC 324. Sean O'Malley recently shared his thoughts on his upcoming fight against Song Yadong and issued a bold preview of the clash. O'Malley and Yadong are set to face each other in a bantamweight fight at UFC 324 in January next year. O'Malley is coming off a third-round submission loss against Merab Dvalishvili in their title rematch at UFC 316 in June. Meanwhile, Yadong last defeated Henry Cejudo via technical decision at UFC Seattle in February. At a recent UFC presser, the former bantamweight champion shared his 2 cents on the upcoming Yadong clash and made it clear he didn't want to extend his current losing streak to 3 fights. Young, experienced, a very dangerous fight. I do believe I'll put his lights out. This is what I need. It's been too long. I need to get back into the win column. Justin Gaethje outlines path to UFC White House clash against Ilia Topuria. As Justin Gaethje gears up to face Paddy Pimblett at UFC 324, he intends to once again crush a key contender that the MMA world and the promotion want lined up for the lightweight champion. Justin envisions securing an undisputed title clash against Ilia Topuria at UFC White House. If he beats Pimblett and accomplishes that dream, the highlight realizes he'd be almost recreating another landmark upset he was part of. I want to play spoiler just like I did in Khabib and Tony. I'm going to do the same thing I did for that fight, and then I'm going to fight Ilia on the White House card if he's ready to fight again. Merab Dvalishvili says UFC wants Petr Yan trilogy next. Merab Dvalishvili says he has been told his next fight will be a trilogy bout against Petr Yan. At UFC 323, Dvalishvili lost the bantamweight title by unanimous decision in a rematch against Yan, ending a 14-fight winning streak that included 3 title defenses. Now with 1 win apiece, it appears the promotion wants to make a third meeting the next fight for both. The UFC contacted me and said, "Please rest as long as you want. Your next fight is a rematch with Petr Yan for the belt. Rest as long as you want and call us when you're ready." Dvalishvili attempted to make history at UFC 323 by recording a 4th title defense in a calendar year. Unfortunately, he came up short due to Yan pulling off a bit of history of his own, becoming the first fighter to lose a title, go on a 3-fight skid, and fight his way back to reclaim gold. The fight itself was a hard one, in which Dvalishvili appeared to be hurt by the body attacks of Yan. However, Dvalishvili says he sustained no significant damage and would like the trilogy bout to take place sooner rather than later. They probably want to do the fight in the summer, but I don't want to wait until the summer. I'll repeat once again, I didn't get any serious injuries from this fight. Anyways, I want to schedule the fight early, maybe in the spring and April would be good, or maybe the fight can be scheduled in the summer. Khamzat Chimaev not keen on one matchup as first UFC title defense. UFC middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev prefers not to jeopardize his personal relationship with Nassourdine Imavov by fighting him. Chimaev has options for his first title defense, but Imavov stands out after extending his winning streak to 5 with a win over Caio Borralho this past September. There is Imavov, there is Strickland, Hernandez, whoever. All of them I see big check, good money. These fights don't make me excited, but I need to do my job. I need to make money, but if there is a big name to make more money, then I will be excited. Sean Strickland fights Anthony Hernandez at a UFC Fight Night main event on February 21st from Toyota Center in Houston, but Imavov is a frontrunner in many people's eyes. Chimaev acknowledges him as a worthy #1 contender, but wouldn't necessarily enjoy fighting him. We didn't train MMA, we just wrestled a bit. He knows my wrestling skills. I don't know his striking skills. It wasn't MMA, but I was there. I just tried to help him fix stuff. He's a good guy. I know him, he knows me. If you ask me, I don't want to fight this guy because we know each other. He's Muslim, and he's from Dagestan. If the guy wants it, I told his manager as well, if Nassourdine wants, I will be open to it. If he says he can wait until I move up, I'm not going to say no. I want to fight this guy. For me, it doesn't matter. Whatever he decides, the UFC decides. We'll see. Conor McGregor sends major warning to Jake Paul ahead of Anthony Joshua bout. Conor McGregor has major reservations ahead of the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua boxing fight scheduled for later this month. Paul was set to fight Gervonta Davis in November, but that clash fell through after the latter's legal issues. Many have expressed concern for Paul, as he would be going up against a powerhouse who could do serious damage. If he makes that walk, I've got to give him my respect for that. It's very dangerous, you know. The former UFC 2 division champion then provided a stark warning about the threat Joshua possessed. Joshua's a big boy and a powerhouse. I've sat ringside and watched Joshua. That's a heavy punching man. He's a happy and good person. He has an anger in him. He has a darkness in him. This Anthony Joshua. Conor McGregor ended by claiming that the fight should not take place. The fight shouldn't go ahead in my opinion. If he does it, I will give him my respect for that.